And those stories are so beautiful, and they do set the tone for so many relationships that we see today, but they never set the tone for my relationships. We're very hidden with who we were as professionals, and luckily that changed. But when I came into the business, I just never was one to hide, like, at all. So when that was very interesting for me, because even though there are a lot of gay people in the ballroom industry, that just what it wasn't. It was it was still a little bit taboo to just spout, like, here I am, I'm gay, you know. So and then have that be a major part of your identity as a dancer, you know, because we still kind of are very fitting into this as a storyline and a narrative in our ballroom industry. We're very, very much so wanting to be, or we're drawn to a very heteronormative European descent romantic couple as the superior story, and as the story that is consistently acknowledged and supported and approved of, you know, and validated. And so for me as a dancer who just wanted to express myself and my relationships with these great partners that I've had, I could never really express myself 100% over the years, is what I felt. So a combination of growing up, whether it was in a multicolored family, or whether it was just being Puerto Rican in a neighborhood or a town that just didn't have many of us, or whether it was just being clearly homosexual in some way, shape, or form, whether it's a neighborhood or a school environment or the ballroom world, you know, it was always, you always are considered marginalized or put in a category of other. And those feelings you can ignore, and people can easily say, oh, you know, but there's a lot of gay people. Oh, there's a lot of Latinos, you know,
Mm-hmm.
in the world or whatever. But the reality is that you can, aside from Latin, because I do feel like there's been a lot of over in history, there's been a lot of, you know, a lot of great gay dancers who've been champions or finalists in Latin. Smooth, but American style is a little bit different. American style has definitely been a lot more of a cookie cutter, very, you know, Jack and Jill kind of, we want to see that boy, man, woman relationship very clear.
Well, and I think that
And
comes from kind of that Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers, like old classic Hollywood grounding that I think spawned a lot of the American style and was the influence for a lot of what we're doing right now. It was very much that leading man, leading lady, fall in love on a dance floor and tell their story through dance kind of concept.
absolutely. And those stories are so beautiful, and they do set the tone for so many relationships that we see today, but they never set the tone for my relationships. And they never, and I remember I had a coaching one time with Luca Baricchi, and he said, you know, Tony, you know, what type of relationship is this with your dance partner? I'm like, oh, well, we're best friends. We're like sisters. This is fun. You know, like, I love her and we do this together and we do that together. And he was like, okay, so when you don't show that relationship on the dance floor and you try to pretend to show another relationship or act like you have another type of relationship, you're already lying when you step out onto the floor. And that lying is not authentic. And so that comes across in your dancing. And that I really had to sit with that, you know, because I am a very genuine, authentic, or I strive to be a very genuine, authentic person. So if that's not coming across in my dancing, that was like a blow to me. I was like, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, something had to change. And I was just like, you know what? He's absolutely correct. Like, we as dancers have a responsibility to dance who we are. Otherwise, it's a lie. Right? Like Baryshnikov says, you're not just seeing the person's technique on the stage when they're dancing, you're seeing their entire history, you know? And so if we as dancers and artists are not able to really show that, you know, then what are we doing this for?